Hello, everybody. I'm Simonetta Lein, and welcome to the Simonetta Lein Show. I'm very excited to be here. In this special series, actually, I'll be interviewing activists, fashion idols, entrepreneurs, so much more. And so make sure to leave your comments and your thoughts so that I can read you. Joining me today, she doesn't even need an introduction, but I'll do it for you. She's the godmother of fashion, Fern Mallis. She's an award-winning creator of the New York Fashion Week. And welcome, Fern.
Thank you.
I am so honored to have you here. Like I said, you don't need an introduction, but I gave a little one. So I want to know all about it, how you started to, create New York Fashion Week that we all adore.
Well, how I started Fashion Week was a long time ago. And I ran it for 20 years, and
Yes.
it was the first time the American fashion designers were organized and centralized in one space, pretty much, several tents in Bryant Park.
Yes.
And that's how New York Fashion Week started back in 1993.
Wow.
And it's evolved over these many 20, 30 years.
Wow.
It's changed a lot. But it was the first time America had an organized fashion week that really changed everything. Fashion shows have been happening all along.
Of course.
For hundreds of years, pretty much.
Just because I'm Italian, I just want you to know, that. So I'm like, from Italy, maybe, a little bit.
They were very well organized in Milan by
That's
the
right.
Camera della Moda, and in France
Yes.
by the Chambre Syndicale and the British Fashion Council.
Yes.
But in America at that time, everybody was doing their own show. So if there were 50 shows and they were in 50 different locations and nobody
understand.
talked to each other. But then there was an accident, actually, that happened at a Michael Kors show when the ceiling started to collapse and the
I didn't know
plaster
that.
came down on the runway.
Wow.
And it was just before I became the director of the Council of Fashion Designers of America. I was hired for the job, but hadn't started yet. And the plaster came down on Cindy, Linda, Naomi, all the one-name supermodels.
Oh.
And they brushed it off and kept walking. But when the plaster landed in the laps of the journalists in the front row, some of the most important writers and critics in the world, Susie Menkes from the International Herald
Yes.
Tribune and Carrie Donovan, who wrote for the New York Times, they wrote that we live for fashion, we don't want to die for it,
Right.
die from it.
Of
and
course.
so I said, I think my job description just changed, and it became a mission to find a place that the American designers, and New York, because New York is headquarters, central for fashion, can show in safe, sound locations. And over the course of the next 2 years, we had a couple of starts and stops in different, in a hotel and different places, and then we finally made a deal with Bryant Park.
Nice.
Put up all the tents, and that changed the American fashion industry.
Absolutely. And in your opinion, how did influencers actually change the fashion world?
It completely changed the world because many, many international editors from all over literally from China to Asia to South America, they all started to come to New York because now there was an organized event that they can understand.
Absolutely.
And we did outreach to everybody. And so it made stars, and it brought so many new designers to the table, and let these people have runway shows, and people could actually see what was happening in America.
Absolutely.
And then there was a moment a few years later when the American shows moved from being the last after Paris to being the first. And that really changed everything. So New York kicked off the International Fashion Circuit, which is still the way the dates run now.
True.
New York, London, Milan, and Paris.
True.
Which is still going on.
True. In fact, I'm very, very proud to, be attending all of your shows, all the stuff that you do, because it's, as an Italian as well, it's very nice to be here. I'll be honest. And in your opinion, if you would like to give any advice to any, young girl or boy that really wants to start in the fashion career, what would you tell them?
Oh, I'd say, really? You sure you want to do that?
I say the same.
It's a very, very tough business. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. You need to have solid footing, solid financing. You need to have strong, solid people around you who can help you run and create a business. And first and foremost, you need talent, and you need to be doing something that resonates, that something that people want, and you have to learn how to navigate that very, very crowded field.
Absolutely.
to get the business. The fashion business is not in very good shape right now. It's and if you walk around New York, there's more empty stores, some on some blocks than there are occupied stores. Department
You
stores
really
are
need to
closing
stand
down.
out and find something that is very unique.
And how to market it and how to sell it.
Absolutely. To me,
You know-
also sustainability, something that, it's coming up. So that is something that if I'll have to give an advice that is
It's very important part of the future of the business, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But you have to figure out how to buy something from the palm of your hand, because that's really where the transactions are happening now. Fashion is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful business and
Yes.
career, and it can be very rewarding for the right people. And people can follow me online, and they can also come to the interviews that I do at the 92nd
Yes.
Street Y, called Fashion Icons with Fern
I
and
come?
Mallis. Yes, well,
Thank
stay
you.
tuned, and we'll be announcing some dates for this year's
Come to see you.
guests. And there's a book called Fashion Lives that you can buy on Rizzoli, which has many of my interviews in it.
And thank you also for all the charity work that you've done. I looked all of your stuff. I have my own non-for-profit, so I really thank you for all your service.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.